So good morning and welcome. I'm Reverend Sue, and it's my honor and privilege to be in the pulpit this morning here at the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Niagara. And we're going to begin with a prelude by Max. So Max, if you're ready, if you would please do the prelude. I'm going to turn this off so we don't get feedback.
So my album, my fourth album just released last night, and it's out on all streaming platforms. So these songs are from the album. You told me I wasn't enough for you, and honestly I took it to heart. I loved you night and day, took your worries away, and now you wanna tear me apart. And it's not like I led you astray. Put it all out on the table and you came my way. But now that we're long through, I found myself a drink that I can talk to. It's the Greyhound, baby. Can't you see? It's the only thing that keeps your ass from getting to me. I told you I was unstable, but you made me your black swan. You cling to our little fable, but girl, the love we had is gone. Now I'm done finding pieces of you in every single person I love. But this poison I pour will give solace, I'm sure. Thank you, oh Lord above, who gives me greyhounds, baby. Can't you see? It's the only thing that keeps your laugh from getting to me.
Thank you, Max. And so we are here on this warm Sunday. Thank you for showing up. Try and make it as cool as possible. Erica was smart. She didn't open the doors or anything so we don't have the warm air, but we're trying to move whatever cool air was existing, so hopefully it'll be comfortable enough. So let's take this moment to be present, to take a moment to turn off your cell phones if you haven't done that already, and to just let yourself feel the presence, the atmosphere, all of the different sensual parts that being in this sanctuary gives, the smells, the light. All of these help us to be present. Our opening words this morning come from Mary Oliver. This is called Teach the Children. Teach the children. We don't matter so much, but the children do. Show them daisies and the pale hepatica. Teach them the taste of sassafras and wintergreen, the lives of the blue sailors, malo, sunbursts, the moccasin flowers, and the frisky ones, inkberry, lamb's quarters, blueberries, and aromatic ones, rosemary, oregano. Give them peppermint to put in their pockets as they go to school. Give them the fields and the woods and the possibility of the world salvaged from the lords of profit. Stand them in the stream, head them upstream. Rejoice they learn to love this green space that they live in, its sticks and leaves, and then the silent, beautiful blossoms. Attention is the beginning of devotion, and that is Teach the Children by Mary Oliver. And so we're going to have our chalice lighting, and if our usher of today would come forth and light our chalice. Oh, I forgot to light it, and light our candles and everything else along with.
Extra candles, no extra charge.
Thank you. And if we could recite together our chalice lighting words in your order of service. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers, to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, and to serve you, Spirit of freedom. And to give us a little peppy song for the morning, I invite you to find 361, which is Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Patty will play us in, and then I invite you to join along in singing if you choose. And we're singing all the verses.
Oh, if you're wondering why there is no bass,
She's a one-handed piano player today.
okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, enter.
Rejoice and come in. Enter.
Rejoice and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in. Enter, rejoice and come in. Enter, rejoice and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in.
It is our custom, and it is our covenant in being together, that we take time to share our joys, our sorrows, and our concerns. And so I'm lighting our main candle, but I'm also lighting the first candle, as I've done since October 7th, almost 2 years ago, for the return of all hostages and for peace on our whole planet. Today that seems most relevant. I invite you to come forward and share your joys, sorrows, and concerns.
I'd like to light a candle in memory of Major Natalie McBurney. I was at her memorial service yesterday. She had a very challenging life, and she was an incredible force for good. And she served with many honors in the Army, but unfortunately, her service in Afghanistan, 2 tours, was just too much for her, and she committed suicide. And I just, when I read the headlines today, I thought about all of our service people who have served in faraway places, sometimes for reasons we don't completely understand or agree with, and all the pain that it can bring. So I light that candle for Natalie. And I also light a candle of joy. And that is for you, Max. Thank you for everything. The wonderful music you've brought to our church, how much I have enjoyed it, and I know we all have. We are expecting to see you when you're home from college, and we just celebrate all your successes. And again, thank you. What a joy it's been.
We're singing hymn 159 because I wanted to later on today. I think it is a perfect song for how I feel about what's going on in the world. And it basically says everybody loves their country. Everybody thinks where they live is beautiful. And we ought to recognize that and honor it.
I have a friend, Caroline, from one of my book clubs. She's joined my second book club. A couple weeks ago, her husband was diagnosed with cancer a couple months ago. He's in treatment. And a couple weeks ago, she came back from grocery shopping, and he was on the ground, bent over like the lawnmower. He had had a heart attack. So he went into the hospital for the heart attack, and he can't get the cancer treatment until the heart attack. The heart is dealt with, this and that, but I just wanted to remember her, send her good thoughts.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I went to have my follow-up to my surgery, and I just wanted to pass on some information. One of them is a correction, because I understood that I have been done with AFib. I'm not having it again. That's not true. I am, however, ever since May 13th, out of AFib. And what they said at the hospital was that's something that they try to encourage and lessen the possibility that you could be in AFib, but you haven't really lost AFib. But so far, on every day since, they track me every day, every hour. and I'm out of AFib at that time, and I'm grateful for that, very grateful.
Well, I had a visit. Is this on? Is this on? You know, that's the quintessential way you test a mic. I had a visit from a friend for a couple of days. Jody, her name was. If you remember, she was a member of this church, this congregation, years and years ago, and her baby at the time, Emily, who was like 27 or. And you told me she used to run around chasing some little boy. Oh, really?
Was her babysitter, and she locked herself in the bathroom.
Why, wait till I talk to her about that. Well, and I was just delighted to see them. They live down near, well, they live in Vestal, New York, and I've been friends with Jody for, forever, and it was just so good that they came up to visit. And Emily is such a wonderful girl. My God, she's so fabulous, and she's living in Hawaii working for the Department of Agriculture, and I'm just delighted. I'm just delighted to see them, and so that is my joy.
Eric,
This is Linda.
do they wish to share anything? Okay.
Go ahead, Linda.
Thank you. First, a joy that was triggered by listening to someone else. I had a procedure called ablation done on my heart. And for about 4 years after that, I had no AFib. So that was a great joy because I had been having it on an almost daily basis before that. And I have a sorrow. This past week, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that parents do not have the right with their doctors to control or direct the medical care of their children, that right belongs to the state. And in the decision, they specifically ruled that trans kids don't have the right to life-giving treatment. So a state may prohibit trans kids from receiving that life-saving, medically necessary care. And the particular state involved in the case, Tennessee, may have hoped that trans kids would be committing suicide from lack of care, or if we're generous, we may think that, well, they at least wanted trans kids' parents to relocate to a free state so that their kids can be saved. And the result either way is being able to get trans kids out of their population since they're obviously hated. So that's the sorrow for this week, the Supreme Court ruling that any state can do that.
Does anyone else have anything that they wish to share this morning? for all the joys, for the sorrows, for the concerns, for those that have been shared, and for those that are held in hearts and in minds. For all of these, we give our best intentions, we bless them, amen, and a women. Our spiritual practice this morning comes from a writing from Khalil Gibran, and it is called Our Children. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They're the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he also loves the bow that is stable. The words of Khalil Gibran. And so at this time, we'll take up the offertory, which goes to serve the good works of this church. A 300-word essay, also known as a short essay, is a piece of writing typically between 250 and 300 words in length. It's often used in educational settings or for a quick, focused analysis. It is a concise format that requires effective writing skills to convey a clear message within a limited word count. 300. A short essay, a short time, a proud time, and for some, a journey of 300 sermons. As a preacher's kid, Max has, as of this month, heard me give over 300 sermons. I figured that out one of the last times I was here, and I was just adding things up in my head. It's interesting. Pride can be an LGBTQ thing in June, but for me, pride is my son. It's not easy being a preacher's kid. You get dragged to a lot of Sunday services. special events, community gatherings, and celebrations. And let's not forget nursing homes, care areas, and all the rest. I've been very lucky to have a son who wants to join me on Sunday preachings. Moreover, I'm lucky, and so too are the congregations I serve, to have Max share his special magical musical talents. Yeah, let's say it that way, because that's how I do feel about that. He has added so much to Sunday worship. He's heightened the experience for everyone in church. Now, being a preacher's kid isn't easy, because they see the disparities and the faults and the limitations of a minister that congregants don't see. They live with the true human, and just like the wizard in The Wizard of Oz, they see behind the curtain, and they have the ability to call out, to talk about, or to see their parent as both human and fallible, and still love them as they are loved. Now, it's extra interesting that Max is a Jewish man, but it's not an uncommon thing in many UU churches. A former rabbi at a synagogue that Max and our family attended used to call me a Jew-you. That was his name for me. He said it was because I spent as much time in temple as I did at a UU church. I think the same could almost be said of Max. He has spent as much time in UU churches, Christian churches singing for various choirs, and definitely at Jewish Shabbat services and high holy days, offering his musical gifts. Now, someone once said, doesn't it confuse your kids to go to temple and to go to UU church? No. If ever there was a faith that complemented their Jewish roots, it's UU. They attended UU Sunday school at Buffalo UU, Friday night Tat Shabbat at their temple, and when they were older, they went to Jewish Hebrew school. Similarly, someone once said at a Pride event, doesn't it confuse your kids to call you dad when you're a girl? No. Kids are very good at learning the names and roles and functions of the people around them. What doesn't fit one family is comfortable for another. Pride celebrations and learning and growing has taught us all how to think and act with inclusion and love. We have learned to say they and them, and we have learned not to prejudge or assume gender. And through my children, I've learned a lot about faith and pride. Faith in my child to make decisions and stand by them, and to learn about consequences and significant choices. And pride in the acceptance and inclusion and respect that they show for their classmates and friends. At the end of the day, I am proud. Proud to be a gay woman, proud to be a parent, proud to be a minister. But I'm proudest of my son, who has sat through 300 plus sermons and has shared probably as many songs as along with you. Pride exists for all of us. You don't have to be LGBTQ to have pride. It's there every time you acknowledge love in your world, when you give love to others. Well, it's extra special in June, but be aware that it's a year-round thing. In a 300-plus word sermon, concise and effective, that conveys a clear message of love, thanksgiving, and gratitude, is the best thing I can give you. And I can have my son here for the 300th time. And so it is Talkback. And Talkback is where you get to share your thoughts and your ideas, your challenges, your grocery lists.
Just wanted to add to what Kathy said earlier, that it's been a real wonderful thing for us to And I can imagine your pride. My God, you know, Max, his skill, it's unbelievable. And it's just been so great for us that he's been willing to share his gift with us. And I can well imagine how proud you are of him. It must be a very easy thing to to be, because he is just so incredibly good. So it's for you 300, and for us maybe not 300, but a nice number, and it's been a good number, and I think a really wonderful experience just all the way around. So just to add to what you said and to what Kathy said and what I know everyone feels, thank you.
That was lovely. How you got through it without crying, I don't know, but it was just beautiful. We just enjoyed your talk so much today. And I was going to say something else, but I know. So John Snodgrass was here a couple weeks ago, and he had told us that he had just done his 100th sermon, or he's going to do his 100th sermon here. So we got him a cake, and it said, "Thank you for 100 wonderful sermons." So we owe you a cake. So next time you're here, I am personally getting you a cake.
I was just going to say, yeah. What am I going to do now? I got to come up with a prelude and a postlude. Hi, 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 hi. Max, I've watched you grow. I have a video of you when you were still. Yeah. Oh, Max, why you gotta go and leave us?
Thank you for your words today, Susan. For me, you and your family represent the true meaning of family, and also the true meaning of what religion and spirituality can mean in our lives in such positive ways. And it's inspiring because there's so many forces in our society now who are openly sharing their, I guess, it really comes down to hatred of differences and the intolerance. And I guess they're terribly frightened by it. I don't know. But I have a transgender grandson who has so many struggles because of his traumatic life. And of course, this is just added a whole other layer. So I just appreciate your responses to people when they ask. I'm glad they ask you, and I'm glad you're there to speak to what it really means to be a family. And so thank you so much.
saying that I want to thank you for your participation. You participate not just by speaking, but also when you listen intently to each other. That's part of our covenant for being together, for understanding, for listening, and for just being present with each other. It's a gift. And it's a gift to me that you give because it ministers to me. And for that, I am grateful, and I thank you for that. And so we are going to participate in a ritual that goes back to 1923. The flower communion is a ritual where each person brings a flower and leaves with a different flower. This was originated in the Unitarian Church in Prague in 1923 by the Reverend Norbert Kapik. Reverend Kapik was seeking a ritual that would unite diverse congregants without alienating those who came from different religious backgrounds. And so he sought to turn to the beauty of nature and the symbolic power of flowers. This ritual was later brought to the United States in 1940 by his widow, Maya Kapik, Norman's wife. And it has been adopted by many, if not all, Unitarian Universalist congregations. What's interesting to know about Norbert is that he stayed in Prague while Hitler waged war, imprisoning those who spoke out against injustice and harms that were committed. Reverend Kapik also was sent to Dachau concentration camp. In Dachau, he was a martyr for his faith and his belief in religious and intellectual freedom. It was shared by a Catholic priest who was also in Dachau that Reverend Kapik officiated his last flower communion in 1942. So today we honor his memory and his ritual in the blessing of flowers and the sharing with each other. And there are words that he used at every single flower communion, including that last one that he did in a concentration camp in 1942. I'm not sure where our flowers are, but you know what? We'll do it virtually. These are his words. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us amid diversities of knowledge and gifts to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship. Oh, there's some flowers. You can put them up here. Yeah, we'll move these back. I'll move this back and put those right up there. That works. You can lay that. I'm just moving it so I don't start. I just don't want to show. Putting the flowers on fire probably is not part of the ritual. Okay. Let me start again since our flowers are here. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of the Spirit's most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of others' talents discourage us or sully our relationships, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work. And those are the words of Reverend Kapik. And so we honor his memory and we bless our flowers. And at the end of service, feel free to please take a flower along with you. Our closing hymn, it says 76, but didn't you say a different one, Teresa? One?
This is, I had thought, I will do the first verse of 76, and I changed the key to match the key of 159, but we will do all of the verses, which are, there are only two anyway, and the one that Dr. T picked.
Okay, So we're doing one verse of 76, and then we're going to do the 2 verses of 179. Flowers that bloom about
our feet, for tender grass so fresh and sweet, for song of bird and hum of bee, for all things fair we hear or see. Giver of all, we thank thee. This is my song, O God of all the nations. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and I as mine. But other lands have sunlight too, and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, the God of all the nations, a song of peace for none.
And so it's time for announcements. If anyone has anything for the good of the congregation or the community, please share.
I just wanted to say that this was our last service for our regular services. Next week starts our summer programs, and I believe we're going to be watching a video on UU 101.
On June 26th, you could be treated to a special treat to hear Shelley talk about the person that she took care of for all those years, all those wonderful years that Nadja was here. So you are invited to attend. This is sponsored by the Niagara Falls Historic Preservation Society. It's at the Tatler, 6th, 4th Street on the 26th of June at 5. Well, you should come about 5, and then we'll start about 5:30. And so she will do a presentation and answer some questions. So you're all invited. Any other announcements? The 26th of June. I believe it's a Thursday. At 5. Any other questions or things you want to announce? Thank you.
Are there any other announcements anyone wishes to share? Of course, you receive Erica's wonderful emails and other, as well as the newsletter, so it can keep you aware of what's happening as well in the church. Our benediction today is an adapted form of the Irish blessing. I call this the UU Irish blessing. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your path. And until we meet again, may the Spirit of life hold you in love and in light. And now Max has a special song that he wants to share.
Is jealous, but not the light of truth, or the fire of commitment. These would burn in our hearts until we are together again.
Pushed to my limits, tested my heart. To tell you the story, I would know where to start. I tried to move on here, but I really just need to leave town. I waited in back for what felt like a year. I needed a place where I could let go of my fears. It took me forever to know, but I found me a place I can go. So I'll see you in Hartford, a day's drive from Old Buffalo. And when I'm in Hartford, I'll throw out your bracelet. If you don't need me, then there's no need to save it. It's time to move on. Maybe you should be moving on too. In Hartford, I'll never have time to remember our silly first kiss at the dawn of December. Watch me, you'll see that it's true. My wallflower days will be through when I get down to Hartford, far away from you. Taking a leap in a brand new dimension, where faces of strangers erode my reflection. I'll move to the coast, let the sea wash over my scars. And on weekends I'll take all my friends to the Cape and finally get my New England escape. My new life is ready to start. I'll be singing with all of my heart when I'm singing in Hartford. Just me and my good old guitar. Right is hard. But I'll miss the way you hold me, lay on me like I'm a cloud, and you made me forget all my frailty. Tell me, what am I supposed to do now? Well, I hope that you know I still love you. And girl, I'm gonna make you proud. Thank you.